I'm very sad that I didn't get to spend St. Patrick's Day with you, so that is why I dressed up for you today. Unless you think that I just wear this around the house. Maybe I do. So I just wanted to take a minute now that our recorders are dry. I wanted you to know what the lubrication was all about, okay? So I've got just a little bit of Vaseline here. It looks like that. And I have a Q-tip, and you're going to use a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. How much? A tiny bit. How much? A tiny bit. So I'm going to put it on just the part that is going to fit together. And oh, did you see that there was just a little bit that you could see? You're going to make it so you almost can't even see where the Vaseline was. It just takes a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. So when you put it together, then it's just going to so easily slide into place. And it's just going to help so that when you want to turn the pieces, that they turn nicely and they should pull off without a problem. Now, I don't want you to play with it, but I want it to move nicely, because I know last year we experienced, if you didn't keep it clean and if you didn't use any kind of lubrication, it would kind of move hard, and it could even crack your plastic recorder. So then you're going to line up your mouthpiece hole with the holes that are on your recorder. I just want to give you a couple of little notes about our recorders, and now would be the time, if we were in class, that I would have you put your recorders under your seats. So just set your recorders on the side. We're going to do a couple of little things here, okay? We're going to do the hot, steamy breath on a cold window, okay? So I want everyone to know what that hot, steamy breath is like coming out of your lungs. Okay, I hope you all brushed your teeth today. All right, now that you've done that, that's the kind of breath we're going to use. We're not going to use breath out of our cheeks, okay? So I don't want to see any of this, okay? And I don't want to see any blowing like we're blowing up a balloon, because you'll get squeaky noises out of your recorders, and your dogs at your house will start howling. They won't like it. So we aren't going to blow up a balloon. We're going to use that hot, steamy window, okay? Next, that's your first lesson. Next, I want you to be introduced to your tongue. Tongue, nice to meet you. Tongue, oh, hi. All right, so you'll enjoy this, because I'm going to stick my tongues out at you, and you have an opportunity to practice walking around the house sticking your tongue out. So when we play our recorder, the way we're going to make the music is that that hot air, that hot steamy air, is going to go through our recorder, and then depending on where we put our fingers, the air will come out in different spots, and that's how we're going to make different notes, okay? So we are going to practice what our tongue is going to do, because our tongue is really going to be when you're in the car, you can put the gas or put the brakes on, right, to stop or go. So our tongue is going to kind of put the brakes on when that breath can go through. If you stop the air from going through, obviously there won't be any noise, any music happening, okay? So I want you to put your recorders down to the side. I want you to make sure you found your tongue, and we are going to make a little face like that, okay? So make your tongue come out just a tiny bit. And your tongue, when you rest your mouth on your mouthpiece, and your tongue is going to touch that mouthpiece. It's going to touch where the air is going to go in, and that is going to be the brake that stops the air from going through. Okay, so your tongue is going to stick on that mouthpiece, okay? And that is going to be the thing that either keeps that hot air going all the way down or stops it right there, okay? Puts the brakes on. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to practice with you kind of what our sound is going to be doing. So our air is going to be coming up from our lungs, and we are going to besides our tongue, we are with our teeth and with our lips, we're going to make a two, two, two. Okay, so I want everybody to do that with me. So we're going to go two, 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 and it's going to be your tongue that stops it. Okay. So if we let our tongue go, if we kept our tongue in our mouth, we'd have two, 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 two. So I want you to practice with your tongue, moving it back and forth, and that tongue is going to practice stopping that movement, okay, or stopping that air from going through. Two, two. And I hope you're all enjoying the fact that you're getting to watch my face do this. You can record it or back it up and rewatch it all the time. It'll be amazing. So now that we have practiced that, and I'll just let you play around a little bit. This is the saddest part for me, because I always love, after we've practiced all these things in class, then I would have you hold your recorders. And the next thing I would tell you is that we're going to start with our left hand on top, and that's going to be the most important thing. That's the thing I'm going to check all the time. So find your left hand. So left, right? Okay, my left. So your left is, as you're watching this anyway, find your left hand. Okay, left hand is always going to go on top. And we've got a hole in the back of our recorder, and we've got all the holes in the front. So the way we're going to make this work for this is that we're going to put that thumb on the back hole, and we're going to put our fingers on the front holes, okay? And today we're only going to work on just the very beginning, okay? So we're not going to use both hands. Your other hand is just going to hold that recorder up. You can either kind of hold it like this, hold your pinky, hold it up, but don't cover up these holes, because we want the air to go ahead and come out of there, okay? So, okay, now I've got my holes all lined up, and I am ready to play. I also scoot my chair back just a little bit, because I'm sitting up here at a counter, so that my iPad can kind of stand on its own, and so that you can see my beautiful tiara, which is really what I wear every day when I'm at my house, right? Do you believe me? You shouldn't. All right, so the first note that we're going to play is going to be a B, okay? And I'm going to show you a picture on the screen here of what your music looks like. And I really like these books because it shows you with whatever is blacked out, it shows you where your fingers are going to cover the holes, okay? So this line right here, this dot right here on the side, that's your thumb hole. And for the time being, until we get really far into our music, we're always going to cover that hole in the back. And what I would like you to practice doing now, we're still not playing a note yet, but I want you to practice creating a dimple. When you think about, getting a good pinch on somebody, please don't pinch your brothers and sisters. But when you do that, you're going to hold it tight, and then I want everybody to check for a dimple. I call it a little dimple, okay? So hold it tight, make a little face, and now I want to see your little dimple. Can everybody see that little spot that that hole made on my thumb and on my finger? Oh, look, it's a cute little dimple. They're little circles. And I want everybody to try to make a little dimple with their finger. And you're going to want to use the pad of your finger and the pad of your thumb. So find that fleshy part, right? So that's going to make the best one. If you aren't on the fleshy part, if you're on like the side of your thumb or on the very tip, it might not cover the whole hole. And so as we get started, if you're having trouble or if it's not making the right sound, we might say, are you making a good dimple? Because that's how you're going to know, if you've got it covered all the way. So everybody try really hard. And I want to see everybody's little dimple here, okay? So now I would walk around and look at your dimples. So I'll just pretend that I'm seeing them. Oh, they're wonderful. Good little dimples. Okay. So now you can go ahead and put your thumb and your finger back here. And this is our B. So it shows again on our little music. The first song that we've got is Hot Cross Buns. And you can see there that we've got the two holes that are darkened. So that's a B. And we are going to play our first note. Dear, I'm so proud of you guys. All right. Ready, students? Ready, little musicians? So let's remember what we've been doing. Hot breath. And we are going to make sure our tongue is working. And we're going to make it toot, toot, toot. But we're going to catch it with our tongue. Toot, 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 toot. All right. And now we're going to use our recorders. Are you ready? I'm going to set it up like this. So your tongue is going to catch it, the hot air, okay? Okay. Hope you've been enjoying my craziness. I miss you. Okay? And then I stop the noise with my tongue. Did you stop the noise with your tongue? All right, so try it a couple more times, and your B should sound like that. Now, I heard one of those notes. I'm not gonna delete it because I want you to hear it. One of them sounded kind of tingy because I wasn't using my hot breath. I was using my mouth breath instead of my lung breath. Anyway, so remember that hot breath from down low. And you're going to hold it, okay? So that is what we are going to work on today. So you've got your B, and then I will let you start playing your B, A, and G are all on this song, Hot Cross Buns. So B, A, same thing, and then a G, okay? And I'm holding my recorder with my other hand. Okay, so this is your B, A, G. Okay, just a couple more notes for you. You're welcome to use a pencil. This is your book, and you can write the notes out. Eventually, I think you'll learn to read some of the music, and if you are having piano lessons, you might already recognize your B and your A and your G. But this is also a good way to kind of learn to read some of those notes. But feel free to go ahead and write those out. So when we start our hot cross buns, we'll think B, A, G, rest, rest. And that's really where I would have you stop probably. But I know you'll want to go on and play through the whole thing. Hopefully I can get together maybe on FaceTime with some of you if you would like to. I would love to hear what your first notes sound like. Last thing I have to tell you, please, please, please don't annoy your family with this, okay? I'm really glad we get to be great musicians together, but I want your family to enjoy your playing eventually as you get better and better as much as I will. Don't chase pets or parents or siblings around making noise because we don't want them to be unhappy that you're making music, okay? All right, so congratulations on your first notes as little musicians, and I can't wait to hear how you do. Have a good one. Bye. I am so excited. If somebody in your family wants to download a metronome app, I've set mine for 80 counts, so it's not super fast, but that's kind of a good sound to start, a good time to start. And this is 4/4 time, so 4 beats per measure, 4 notes per measure. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little playing for you, okay?